The Valdosta Fire Department Station 3 visited the Lowndes Advocacy Resource Center at the Copeland African American Museum, where they learned fun facts such as the safety hood smoke device used by firefighters was invented by an African American man, Garrett Morgan. The City of Valdosta would like to recognize Officer Joshua Box with the Valdosta Police Department for becoming one of the Rotary Club's Officers of the Year. Also honored were Georgia State Patrol Trooper First Class Chandler Poor and Sergeant Matt Porter of the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office. The three nominees were honored in a law enforcement appreciation lunch.
Everything that everyone's done for me, helping my shift. They were there for me around third. And Georgia State Patrol, they also responded. They were there. Talking to troop boys and everything. He said, man, we had just about every Georgia State Patrol in there and on the way to y'all. And that's what it comes down to. We're all family. And, regardless of grade, when we're there and we're there to have each other's back. And at the end of the day, that's what matters most.
Officer Box has been with VPD since 2019 and was nominated due to his courage and bravery during a tragic incident involving first responders, in which he also suffered an injury. The city would like to thank Officer Box for his hard work and dedication. After 25 years of hard work and dedication, Captain Tom Wheeler has retired from the Valdosta Police Department. Captain Wheeler worked in several departments during his years at VPD, but retired as a captain in the Patrol Bureau. The city would like to wish Captain Wheeler a happy retirement. Valdosta State University is upgrading all its mid-block crosswalks and its signal light intersection to make the campus safer for students and pedestrians.
Currently what's going on, we have a contractor coming in to redo the striping at the intersection. They're redoing all the stop bars, the crosswalks, and the turn arrows, so it'll be brighter at night and in the daytime, so it will be illuminated better so the students can, and the pedestrians and the vehicles can see it better.
These upgrades to the crosswalk include adding stop bars, thermo, brighter signage, and RPMs.
We have also gone in and added what we call RPMs, which is raised pavement markers, but these raised pavement markers have flashes, so at nighttime they will flash so it will outline the crosswalks so drivers can see it better. These are solar powered, so we didn't have to worry about adding any additional power to make sure these lights operate correctly.
The upgrades are done through a partnership between the city and the university.
But VSU this year has some funding where they put into account that will allow us to do a few more things that we would not be able to fund ourselves. So the partnership it's working really well for us because it's allowing us to do the additional things that VSU is requesting that we couldn't do at the time.
VSU and the City of Valdosta are committed to keeping its residents safe. The Valdosta Fire Department visited the Lowndes Youth Leadership League during Local Government Day to explain how VPD works to serve the community.
We discussed how the fire department fits in with emergency management as a part of the whole, and once those systems are activated, what role we would play, either as a singular unit or as a joint unit. We also worked in coordination with Lowndes County Fire Rescue and discussed the different types of services that we provide and distinguished that we're not just a fire department, but we also handle all hazards.
The Valdosta Fire Department is committed to helping our future leaders grow and develop in the best way possible.
The sooner we identify leaders at a younger age, the more training, education, and time can be spent developing their leadership capabilities. They're going to be essential and crucial to the future, and if we can identify them at a younger age and bring them up and illustrate and demonstrate leadership and how it works within the city, then they'll just enhance their abilities as they grow.
For more information on how VPD is serving their community, check out the department's Facebook page. The South Georgia Film Festival is one of the biggest events in Valdosta. The festival happens the first weekend of March, and this year will mark the festival's 6th year. The event will be hosted on the Valdosta State University campus and is open to all members of the community. Here with me today, I have Jason Brown, the festival's director and professor at VSU, who is going to share some details on the festival and what the event will look like.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. We're really excited. This is our 6th year, which is a mark that a lot of festivals and events don't necessarily pass. So we're really excited to still be here, to survive through COVID, and ready to present this big event for the community.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about how the event is going to run.
So starting on March 3rd, we have a kickoff event at the Turner Center for the Arts in downtown Valdosta, where we have a preview of what all is going to happen. And we actually, this year, we're working with some local filmmakers who did a documentary about the south side of Valdosta and the development of that part of the community. So we're going to do a work in progress screening with them. And then beginning Friday, March 4th, screenings will be available all across the Student Union. And then that evening, we're going to finish things off with our kickoff party at Georgia Beer. One of the things that we really pride ourselves is how much we're trying to work with the community. And Georgia Beer has been an incredible partner throughout the time that we've existed. We thank them for all that they've done. And for that reason, we try to throw a great big party for everyone to come out and be a part of. And then Saturday, we have screenings and panels with filmmakers all day long. And then that evening, we're going to have the South Georgia premiere of Bruce Willis's film American Siege. It was shot in Fitzgerald. He did about 5 of them. This is the most recent one, and we're going to be able to premiere it here in Valdosta. And then that night, we're going to do a screening out on the lawn of the College of the Arts, the film Coda, which is about a young girl who, she's a child of deaf adults, and she wants to become a singer. And we're going to do that out on the lawn like we did last year, so we're really excited with that. And then Sunday, we're going to bring everything together. We're going to have an awards event at noon, and then we've got one of our last films, Bren Gets a Life, and our family-friendly block to finish out Sunday. So we're really excited. It's going to be a weekend full of great things for everybody.
Okay, so tell me, I know this is the 6th year of the festival. Can you tell me how the festival actually began?
Sure. Coming to Valdosta, film festivals were something that I have a history with and something that I feel very passionate about. So it was one of the things that I wanted to do when I got here. And we started the very first festival. We actually brought a filmmaker from Amsterdam who had made a film about a soldier from Valdosta who had died, and her family actually took care of his grave in Amsterdam. Her in, and she got to meet with the family of the soldier. We screened the film for the community, and it was a really great way to kick things off. And every year we've gotten bigger in some way. Last year with COVID, while we didn't have as many films, actually we kind of did, but we just did them virtually, or we were able to do some outdoors. So we adjusted, and this year, along with going back to being in person, we're continuing that virtual component where people will be able to watch things from their home if they want to, as well as that Saturday night outdoor event, which people really enjoyed.
Okay, so how long does an event like this take to plan? When do you usually start?
We're thinking about next year yesterday. These things do tend to take a year. The very first festival took about 6 months and just sort of things falling together. And I know this year, we've been planning for everything to be normal again, but with everything that's going on, we've had to adjust and hope and sort of move with what all is going on. We're going to be in person, but we're trying to be as safe as possible. We're still encouraging people to mask up if that's what would help them. We're going to try to encourage distancing. We're going to close off some rows so that people will have some distance between them and other people that are at the screenings. And just try to make this as safe as possible. Last year, while we were outdoors, a lot of the filmmakers, we had a dozen filmmakers come from out of town last year, and they talked about how we were able to put together a really fun, exciting, and safe event. And we continue to want to do that. What we try to do is to celebrate film, both artistically, something that's fun that everybody can enjoy, but also to think about it as an industry. Georgia has grown in the film industry so much just in the time that I've been here in Valdosta State, and it continues to grow. And one of the things that we really have sort of invested in is trying to show how that can help at the local level. Two of the people who have been a big part of our festival the last 6 years are Molly Coffey and Melissa Simpson, and they run a group called Film Impact Georgia, which really is about investing in local people making stuff. I think there's some people who aren't happy with the film industry, and that's because of their own ideas of what that means and what the Hollywood and everything. But I think my experience is if you get out and meet people who are doing this, you realize that they're just regular people like everybody else. And so we've been really excited to have them come to Valdosta and talk about how local communities can get involved in the film industry and what that can mean. We're excited about the Bruce Willis movie because, again, that was something that was shot in Fitzgerald, just north of us. That's an industry. They are making those movies, and they're giving people jobs, and people are working those things. It's not just Bruce Willis is a big pretty face. I'm not sure he is a pretty face, but whatever. But he's exciting, and people know him, and that's great. But what's really great are all the people who got jobs working on those films.
So as the event is located in Valdosta, are there any local partnerships, sponsorship between the film festival and the city itself?
We work so hard to partner with the community because there's a lot that the community can bring to us. I mentioned the Turner Center for the Arts. That is a great partnership that we love to have. We've worked with Georgia Beer, which we talked about already. Georgia Power has been a long-time sponsor for us. A new sponsor this year that we're really excited about is the South Georgia Studios and Film Academy, which is located in Brooks County. And they're building a studio over there to bring more productions to our community. Along with that, we have Wild Adventures, the Valdosta Lounge Development Authority, Radio 92.1. There's so many, and I apologize for everyone that I'm forgetting off the top of my head right now. But our partnerships with the community is what really makes us stand out. The biggest thing that's come to us this year, the Valdosta Lounge Tourism Authority has been tremendous. And they actually designed our logo for this year, which is the 2 and the peach and the 2-2 for 2022. And they are helping design the billboards that people will be seeing across town on the digital billboards. So we really think everything that Valdosta Lounge Tourism Authority is doing for us. But that's what we want to do. We want to be able to bring these people from out of town, and we want to let the community be able to show how they want to support that as well. And all these things are working together so well.
So I know you get support from the businesses of the community. Do you get a lot of student filmmakers from the local high school and the VSU community?
Well, one of the first things is, myself and Professor Black, we work really hard on this, but we also are really dependent upon the student organization. And this year, our president, Ethan Mitchell, has done a great job of organizing students to be able to screen the films that come in to help us determine what actually gets into the festival. And then those students actually, they run the event. You're going to see them scanning people's passes, helping seat people, selling shirts, that kind of stuff throughout the weekend. And we really, we're dependent upon that. But we also want to see, those local high schools like you're talking about, be able to come to Valdosta and see what's possible. This year, we're really excited. Brooks County High School and middle schools are going to send a large group of students, and we're going to be able to give them a tour of the facilities and everything. We're really excited about that. And every year, you never really know exactly who all is going to show up, but we consistently have been having students come, not just from Lowndes and from Valdosta, but from high schools all across the region. And we want to continue to encourage that. Students, both high school and college, and I guess below that as well, are free for all the screenings and the panels. They just need to show up, show us their ID, and they can get in. We really want to encourage that. So all students are encouraged to show up, and we really like the ones that have been participating.
So what advice would you give to anybody who wants to enter a film into the festival, but is a little hesitant about it?
Well, first off, don't be hesitant. Take a shot and see what happens. This past week, Sundance just finished up, and they had 10,000 entrants just in the feature film categories. That's not the short films or any of the other stuff. They received so many entries, and while there's plenty of ways that can go, you really don't know what separates you from everybody else until you sort of see that. So please don't be worried. Put your stuff out there. But the biggest thing that I would encourage you to do is think about who's going to watch your stuff. Who do you want to see watch your stuff? we're showing the film Coda, and we're partnering with the ASL English Interpreters Program here on campus. And a big part of that is to sort of let people see a film that represents that community and that they're a part of. And if you're making a film, think about that. Who are you making this for? Who do you want to see this? If it's your mom, great. You don't need us. Go do something else. But if it's more than that, then really you want to think about who that community is. And the people who come to see our stuff aren't that much different from the people who go to Georgia Theater Company to see movies on Friday night. But we're a little bit different. And what I mean by that is generally these are people who really enjoy film, and you're not just expecting explosions or everything else, you're expecting something a little bit richer. So think about that. There's a lot of festivals out in the world. There are dozens upon dozens in Atlanta alone that feature films just for black filmmakers, just for horror fans, just for, I think in October is the Outfest, which is a lesbian, gay, LGBTQ festival. There's plenty of them. And if you think about what you're working on and you just want to find an audience, think about who you want to get to. But if you don't know, just put it out there and then see how people react. That's all you can ever do.
Okay, so I know that we have a long list of events available that weekend. Mm-hmm. Where can people go to find a schedule of events or what we'll be showing during the week? That's
a great question. I encourage everybody to go to southgeorgiafilm.com. That's our main website. And you can click the button for tickets from there. And we'll have the schedule and the links to buying tickets. If you want to go directly to that, though, it's sgff22.eventive.org. So both of those links will get you to where you need to be.
Tickets for $40 will get you the all-day pass, correct?
That'll get you everything for the whole weekend. $15 gets you all the screenings and the panels for any day. But if you want to you want to stay at home, you can watch any movie for $5. Now, we have VIP festival things, and all students, if you show up with your ID, you can get into any screening or any panel with your ID. But if you as a student, want to go to the parties, it's $25 instead of the $40. We have options for everybody. There's no reason that somebody would come to the festival and have nothing that they can't be a part of. And we think these are pretty reasonable prices.
Thank you, Professor Brown. It looks like the event is shaping up to be a really fun one. Thank you for coming and talking to us, and we can't wait for the event to happen.
Thank you.
Every day that I come in, I know that the people that I work with are willing to do exactly for me what I would do for them. Other occupations, they have coworkers, we have partners, and that's for a reason.
Fire.
Throughout my career, I've seen this department grow immensely over the years through training, personnel, equipment, and the volume of our calls. Our department now responds to more than 73,000 calls for service each year. Our department offers so many different paths for an officer to take as they navigate through their career at the Valdosta Police Department. We equip our officers with the best training, the best gear, and all the support they need to be successful.
I chose this department because my husband will be retiring here from the military, and so it just gave me an opportunity to start my career, and pay rate is higher than other departments. Benefits, the equipment that they provide, duty belt, vehicles, training throughout the year. It's great.
The reason I chose Valdosta Police Department is I was already in the area from working with the Air Force at Moody Air Force Base. After my enlistment was up, I got in contact with our IA lieutenant. She dropped the bug in my ear, said she'd think I'd be a good cop. And it just stuck with me. So I came and applied. They said they'd be happy to have me. I said I'd be happy to work for you.
Valdosta dispatch to 7139 and all available units. We have an active shooter situation at 206 39th Avenue. We have a barricaded subject with possible hostages.
As an accredited law enforcement agency, the Valdosta Police Department is always operating at the highest level of national law enforcement standards. We are always advancing and improving our capabilities.
One of the things that took me by surprise was The training I received at the Academy on mental health people. It's something that we don't think about, but we encounter on a daily. And I feel like the training we received really prepared me. The best part about working as a police officer would be making an impact in people's lives. Helping victims get out of situations, providing them with resources available to them.
A lot of people say they have families in the workplace. A lot of people try to posture themselves as a family. But to me, a family is doing whatever's necessary, whatever cause, for whomever, that you call that family member. Being an officer is the closest thing to having an outside family as I can find. There's a moment that typically happens that lets me know I've done my job well, and that's when I arrest somebody, put them in the back of my police car, and then on the way to the jail, they thank me. They know that they've done wrong, and they respect the job that you've done. That typically is what makes me proud.
At the Valdosta Police Department, we will put our officers up against any in the country. We have great community involvement. Our officers are in the community every day, building great relationships, great partnerships to work together to keep this community safe.
We take community policing to the next level. Our officers are constantly out in the community, whether it be crime prevention efforts, community events, or neighborhood walks aimed at meeting the residents of Valdosta.
There are many opportunities within the department to move around, meaning you do not have to stay as a patrolman. You can always move up.
There's so much experience that you'll get in your first few years here that will set you up for the other departments that we have in the PD, be it K-9 detective, narcotics detective, our power squad unit. That foundation is going to be built so early on because we have amazing supervisors from top to bottom. We make it our business to mold good cops because that's who's going to be watching our backs.
As we continue to see growth in our community and our region, the Valdosta Police Department continues to prepare and evolve into a regional response law enforcement agency.
We're so fortunate to live in a community that respects and takes pride in the work of our officers each day. We're proud to serve in the Valdosta community.
I'm so proud of the work that our officers do each and every day to put the Valdosta Police Department on the map. This department is truly second to none.
The Stormwater and Arbor Division, along with the Valdosta Tree Commission, worked together to put on a rain barrel workshop in celebration of Arbor Week.
So the benefits of a rain barrel are several. One is it contains, you hold the water on site, and obviously it's clean water. So it doesn't have your chlorine and things like your additives that your drinking water does, so your plants and trees absolutely love it. So people use these for various things. I've seen people use it to wash their dogs with, but mainly people use it to water their plants on their patios and things like that. But it is important because the more you contain on site, the less runoff that we have.
Citizens were able to learn about the impact of stormwater and water conservation. Participants were also given the opportunity to build their own rain barrel to take home.
These are really unique and special, and what we really like to do and give these away is because we actually pick these up from local car washes. This is the containers that their soaps and bug like wash and stuff come in, and if we weren't able to pick these up, they would go into the landfill. So we're actually not only helping stormwater and conserve water, but we're also preventing, things from going into the landfill.
The Stormwater Division hosts this event several times during the year, so be on the lookout to sign up for your spot. In honor of Arbor Day, the City of Valdosta and the Valdosta Tree Commission hosted a celebration outside the Customer Service Building.
We have planted a bald cypress in a new downtown rain garden that the Arbor Division, with the help of the Stormwater Division, did in the last week and a half to 2 weeks. They've replaced a lot of trees in this downtown parking area that weren't suited for parking lot living. So in conjunction with that, we have cut a curb over here where some water was ponding. Stormwater Division poured a flume to allow the water to come off of the parking lot into a rain garden that the Arbor Division has created here.
At the celebration, the city recognized a newly built rain garden that will help to water the newly planted bald cypress tree and the African orchids.
The thesis of the rain garden is for the water to accumulate and collect pollutants. Particles, just anything, and the dirt and the roots and the trees and the plants help filter that water and allow it to percolate back to the aquifer to be reused in our consumption.
The city of Valdosta was also recognized as a Tree City USA community for its 36th consecutive year. The city of Valdosta is proud to be participating in National Engineers Week, which celebrates all the innovators who are dedicated to making the city work as a well-oiled machine.
This year's theme is reimagining the impossible. That's basically what engineers do. They're problem solvers, and they take the science that we know and they apply that to make something useful.
Engineers work hard to design innovations such as traffic lights that make the lives of citizens easier.
Every morning we get up and the expectation is to turn on the faucet and the water's going to come out. Okay? Good, clean, drinkable water. Where does that come from? Well, it comes from a plant that engineers designed. Even the system to get it to your house and into your sink has been designed by an engineer. Traffic signals. When you come to work, getting to and from work, when you push on that pedestrian cross button, you want it to work. You want to be able to cross the street.
The city of Valdosta would like to say thank you to the engineering department for all your hard work and commitment to maintaining the city.
Earlier in the show, we told you about the Love Downtown campaign. We encourage residents to enjoy our great downtown year-round. There are great food options, lots of shopping, and we're months away from a new park opening, so join us downtown. This concludes another edition of City Focus. Be sure to visit our website, valdostacity.com. Like us on Facebook, Valdosta City Without Limits. Also join next door for city updates. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at City of Valdosta, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Metro 17 Valdosta, to watch City Focus on demand. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time here on City Focus.